Red Bull. Since owner has been dismissed, I think we are having a new Red Bull. Now, the severance deal has been sorted out. From what we are hearing is in the tune of about $100 million, the severance deal. But let us look at what has happened to Red Bull since that time. There has been improvement. They brought a new floor to Monza, and that floor had worked. They've taken the fight to McLaren. In fact, Max Verstappen had won back-to-back races in F1, and he has had two poles back-to-back, two Grand Slams back-to-back. Wow, what really happened? To me, I think since last year the issue of Crisona came out, I knew there was going to be an implosion. I made a video about it. You know, Crisona is a smart guy. He got the backing from Vietnam, and since Dietrich passed away, you know, he's losing the other side of Austria, so he's getting the full backing from Vietnam, and he believes, oh, everything is sweet, nothing is going bad. You know, for me, I knew it was a time bomb that I was sleeping on, because one way or the other, this is going to go haywire. Now, he thought he's keeping Max Verstappen in check and making him happy. So far, Max Verstappen wins, sent Perez away, and Max said, see, sending Perez away is not the answer. For somebody like Max, Perez is needed. Aside from Daniel Ricciardo, the strongest competitor is had, and Perez should stay because he would keep getting them points. But you know, Crisona Ogmon, he is so smart, he knows what things he wants, which naturally sometimes is not what should happen. Everything went sideways. They brought Liam Lawson, you know, he started making different changes, thinking he's helping himself, especially with some people leaving. He thinks, oh, this is getting to become his team, he will just be there, Zazu there, and you know. But unfortunately, life has another plan. I think some part of the office were not happy with him, because if they were happy with him, with all these guys leaving, the team would have been better. Coming into 2025 season, the car didn't lift off from where it was in 2024, managing to get races done, updates, everything, not really the way they wanted it to be. Now it's becoming an issue for them. Meanwhile, 2% was sold, which makes the Austrian get back to the major backing, and at that point, he had to be relieved of his duty. Now, since the new team principal, Laurent Mekies, came in, it looks like a struggle, but there was an improvement. Everybody said, oh, they enjoyed him, including Max's father. You know, he spoke heavily, criticized Crisona last year, and sometimes he was not coming for some races. Like, Crisona, I'm angry with you, say, you must go, say. That was how he was. He was showing that he's not with Crisona. Everybody wants to be in tune with the team principal, make things look like, oh, everything is fine, you know, everything is looking fine. But he's like, no, we see Laurent Mekies coming, everybody gets jovial, everybody looks happy, and with the new updates and everything, they are kicked him back. But will this last? A lot of permutations are coming up that Max Verstappen could still win the championship. Is it possible for him to still win the championship? For me, I think no, because he has to win every race and every sprint, which I think the McLarens, no, it's not possible. For me, I still think there are still some races that he might not be able to finish. He still has to take one or two engines. You know, he has pushed into his allocation, but where does he end? I think 2026 will be a major year for Red Bull and for every team. Whoever comes up first, get on the hammer, keep eking out into what they have designed, will be the winner of 2026. But with what Max Verstappen and Red Bull are having now, I think they've digged in, they know where their problem is, which I know and have said, because they brought some flaws that caused them flaws, you know, and now they've brought the right flaw. But with that flaw, be able to work on some tracks like the Singapore, Austin, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi, because those are the races that would really define the season, where those drivers finish in those races. Even Las Vegas 19, that's so crazy. So I think the Red Bull are back on track, but there's an uncertain win of poise of victory for them, because that does not mean McLaren will relax. McLaren too will look for performance. Other teams will look for performance. At least Mercedes wants to win one race this season. Ferrari are still looking at possibility of winning a race that is not looking that possibility is looking sleek, bleak, and impossible for Ferrari to win a race. Anything can happen, you can see. Carlos Sainz said earlier this season, that in March, I think, that there's no certainty that he will be on podium this season. Lo and behold, Baku was on podium, picking the third position. So anything can happen in F1. But with the developments we are seeing, I think a lot of teams are relaxing. Some are still bringing updates. Some are testing 2026, little of 2026. So there could be light somewhere inside the tunnel for some teams. But it's going to be funny to see how Red Bull are able to position themselves towards the end of the season and be a team to put up the challenge to McLaren. But it's getting more interesting. You don't want to miss any of our analysis and any video coming out from our stables. So if you've not subscribed, please click the subscribe button, share, like, follow if you're on other mediums like Facebook, Instagram. We are on all social media. Click the like button. Ask questions in the comment section. But know that I love you. I always bring you the best information you need to hear in F1. Bye. Cheers.